USC parents organized a Facebook group to give students more support. We spoke to one of the moms about what they're trying to do.
And a nasal spray can save the life of an opioid overdose victim. Now, a student is trying to make it more available on campus.
USC's new athletic director talked with Annenberg Media about his focus in the wake of the Varsity Blues scandal.
Annenberg TV News is coming up right now.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
I want students to know that moms and dads on call are here. If you need anything from a project to a, to a local reference, we may be able to help you.
With the recent student deaths, a community of USC parents is stepping up to help students. Good evening, I'm Trevor Sahaki.
And I'm Jamia Pugh. Reporter Tanvi Varma shows us how parents can make a difference, even if they're not your own.
Free cupcakes!
That's one of the things you may have heard walking onto campus today. Parents in the Facebook group, Local USC Moms and Dads on Call, want students to know one thing.
You are not alone.
Trojan mom and alum Rory Bennett started the Facebook group in the wake of 9 student deaths. She knew the group was a safe haven for parents when she read one mom's emotional post.
I'm a little worried about my daughter. She's a freshman, seems to have some anxiety issues. I just found out, in addition, that I have breast cancer.
Bennett says the response to the mother's post made her proud to be part of the Trojan family.
I had tears streaming down my face, and the response from your students, first of all, was incredible. There were students that joined the site that were like, I'm there, I'll be her friend.
Bennett says the group got over 1,500 members and 6,300 engagements in just under a week. The parents on call live anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 hours away.
We are here to help you in any way that we need, whether it's a ride to a doctor's office, a parent's shoulder to talk to, advice, help with a project, love a dog, pet a puppy because you miss your house.
Some students discovered the Facebook group today.
I think it allows for people to have, to feel comforted and, feel a sense of, joy and acceptance. So
parents are bringing their dogs, just like this little guy, and clearly, as you can see, it helped the turnout.
I think the energy that animals spread out, especially, little puppies, it definitely makes you feel happier, and when I saw it, it definitely made my day.
As one parent said, we can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. For Annenberg Media, I'm Tanvi Verma.
This afternoon, I sat down with one of the parents involved in the local Moms and Dads group to find out more about how parents can support the students. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, Ms. Gina. Such a great initiative you are a part of, the local USC Moms and Dads on Calls. And we just saw the event that was covered today. Tell me what it's like for you to kind of see that come full circle.
It was incredible because we literally planned it in 2 days. We saw that there was a need to have presence of parents here with the students. And so we put together this amazing Facebook page, thanks to Rory Burnett, and we were able to get everybody to come and bring in cupcakes, bringing therapy dogs. I mean, we had hundreds and hundreds of cupcakes here, and we were here for the kids to let them know that they have local parents around the corner that are here to help them, whether they need something trivial like a project where they need a parent to talk to, or I had one girl that said, I really would love to get help because I need clothes for an interview and I need someone to go with me. I don't know what to do. Anything like that. If they're in a bind, all of the parents live within 20 minutes to 2 hours. And so we are here to help them, and we want to let them know that we're just like one post away to be there for them.
So it definitely is a support group that I think it is needed here on USC's campus. What is the mission of this group? What are you guys looking to get out of this, the long-term goal of it?
I would hope that this group is able to be, hopefully this group can spread out to other schools all over the country, in fact, all over the world. Why not? Have local moms and dads that are there to help kids. So even if our kids go on an internship or their kids come to this school, there's always that community where there's somebody to contact. And I think that is very reassuring, not only for the students, but for the parents. But the most amazing part of today was the students that came to us and said, thank you for being here. This is what we needed.
It really shows that students do need this, and I know very quickly you are actually alumni of USC.
I am.
Is this something personal for you?
It is. I mean, it's incredibly personal. I love the school. I'm an alumni, and also my daughter just graduated from USC. My son is a senior at USC, so I love this school, and anytime I can give back, I am here.
That's amazing. Well, thank you again for being a part of the group and doing something that is very much needed here. Thanks for your time, Ms.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Local USC moms and dads are planning more events to give students a home away from home. While they are a closed group, you can request to join them on Facebook.
The Department of Public Safety warned students last week about the risks of opioids. Now there's a push to make a drug available that can reverse those effects. In light of recent deaths on campus, some want the USC community to know about the drug called Narcan. Students can find Narcan at CVS or the USC pharmacy on campus.
Having Narcan on site for fraternity and sorority houses would be a really good idea, just because it can obviously save lives. And obviously we've had cases of this. I've lost a close friend due to it. When we just act like it's not happening and we're not talking about it, we're kind of just denying the fact that these kids are dying and that there is a issue of drug abuse in our community.
The sorority is committed to having Narcan at the house and at events to ensure that they are protecting students as best they can.
Some of the deaths may be attributed to fentanyl, a very powerful opioid. And we wanted to let students know that we're preparing to help. The possibility of saving a life far outweighs any concern of what people think. Our first responsibility is to our students, and saving lives is number one.
DPS is also taking action to ensure it has the resources to handle drug overdoses on campus if and when they happen. The hope is that Narcan will be able to prevent overdoses.
This morning, a white supremacist manifesto landed on some students' phones at Syracuse University. Over the weekend, fraternities were suspended after weeks of racist incidents. This is one of at least 10 racist and anti-Semitic incidents that have been reported in the last 2 weeks. Fraternity members were also reported for yelling racial slurs at African-American students. Students have staged sit-ins.
We got the manifesto post, and I looked at it, and it was actually probably the first time that I personally felt like my security was in danger. It like genuinely made me cry last night, and I had to like lock the door to my room. I was a little bit paranoid today walking around campus.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has ordered a task force to investigate these incidents at the university.
It's been a long day on Capitol Hill. Over 10 hours of testimony in the impeachment hearings included Vice President Pence's advisor on Russia, Jennifer Williams. She was on the call between President Trump and the president of Ukraine.
I thought that the references to specific individuals and investigations, such as former Vice President Biden and his son, struck me as political in nature, given that the former Vice President is a political opponent of the president.
And so the lead Ukraine expert on the National Security Council also testified. Alex Vindman defended himself against attacks from Republicans and discussed the transcript of the call.
In Russia, my act of expressing concern to the chain of command in an official and private channel would have severe personal and professional repercussions, and offering public testimony involving the president would surely cost me my life.
California Representative Devin Nunes criticized the media today for what he describes as a disconnect between the testimony and how news organizations reported what witnesses said.
When you saw 3 diplomats who dislike President Trump's Ukraine policy discussing second-hand and third-hand conversations about their objections with the Trump policy. Meanwhile, they admitted they had not talked to the president about these matters, and they were unable to identify any crime or impeachable offense the president committed. But what you read in the press were accounts of shocking, damning, and explosive testimony that fully supports the Democrats' accusations.
A spokesperson for the Society of Professional Journalists reacted to the attack on the media by the Republican congressman.
And so for this member of Congress to come forward and yet again vilify the press with his statements is so disappointing. It's straight out of the Trump playbook in terms of dumping on the messenger.
Gavel-to-gavel coverage continues tomorrow when Ambassador Gordon Sondland testifies. Sondland was in direct contact with President Trump, helping him carry out his policies involving Ukraine.
A lot happening in the impeachment process, but earlier today, Lauren sat down with the USC's newest administrator to talk to him about his aspirations at USC. Lauren?
Thanks, Jamia. After his full first week on the job, Mike Bones seems to be settling in nicely as USC's new athletic director. I had the opportunity to sit with him today in the afternoon and find out what made USC so appealing after the Varsity Blues scandal and how he'll lead the university forward.
Well, it all starts with a standard that represents USC, a competitive standard, a national championship type standard, and the ability to represent that, and obviously having the ability to work with President Folt and her incredible team and her influence quickly is inspiring to be a part of. Well, it all starts with driving and competitive spirit together, and I think it's important to ensure that we have all of our leaders, all of our donors, our fans, our students, our alumni, the community, the staff, everybody working together through an alignment of competitive spirit.
It seems like USC athletic department standards can only go up from here. And coming up later in sports, Mike Bone paid a visit to some spirited Trojans on campus. Stay tuned for that. And for now, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you. Protests are happening around the world. We'll take you to a few and find out why people are demonstrating in the streets.
And 3 female entrepreneurs share their secret to success.
And later, the Chick-fil-A Foundation makes an announcement about what organizations will not be receiving any donations after the break.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
On tonight's segment of Around the World, we'll explain why demonstrators in Hong Kong, Iran, and Chile are out in the streets protesting.
We remain very confident that we are able to cope with the situation.
Let's start with Hong Kong. Its extradition bill first gave rise to protests when it was introduced in April. Since then, city leaders and citizens have been in an 8-month-long feud. Those opposed to the bill say they're afraid of losing their freedom and rights promised to them in 1997. But city leaders say they won't change anything until the violence stops. Protesters say they will continue until they are heard. Another country that is facing unrest is Iran. People have been rioting in several cities over the rise in gas prices. The government shut down the internet on Saturday, so only the state media and government officials are able to share any information. And finally, in Chile, protesters are aiming laser beams at police trucks, and police are firing back with water cannons. President Sebastián Peña acknowledged on Sunday that police have been using excessive force. These demonstrations started as protests over an increase in subway fares and have turned into a mass movement over inequality. But as chaotic as it might be, those are just a few of the stories from around the world.
Mayor Eric Garcetti and the LA City Council declared today Women's Entrepreneurship Day. The goal is to empower organizations to help women own businesses. Women entrepreneurs from all over the area attended the event to listen to what notable local business women had to say. We asked attendees what they think it takes to be a successful female entrepreneur.
Try everything and don't be afraid to fail. You learn through the failures. I've made many mistakes, but it makes you more successful.
Stop dreaming and start doing. Get your idea written down, see the gap in the market that you care about, and go for it. We're all here ready to support you.
You got to have grit. You can't take no for an answer, and you have to also not allow yourself to be intimidated.
The all-day event included keynote speakers, workshops, and opportunities to learn from other accomplished women. That's great. It looked like they were enjoying the kind of chilly weather that's happening around here.
Yes. In fact, I hear we're supposed to get some unusual rain, or I guess usual for winter, but let's check in with Sarah for more.
That's right, guys. Everyone, take out your umbrellas as Los Angeles prepares to shut down tomorrow with the first rainstorm of the season. Conditions right now at USC are cloudy with 76 degrees outside and temperatures drastically lower looking into the Inland Empire. Conditions remain low. San Bernardino is 59. Riverside's also 59. Big Bear we see 39 and 65 in Palm Springs. National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning throughout the Inland Empire. And conditions are pretty foreign in these low 60s over in the valley. We have 63 in Thousand Oaks, 62 in Malibu, 62 in Northridge, and 60 in San Fernando with high chances of precipitation. Looking over into USC for tomorrow's weather, we have 62, 63 at LAX, 63 in Long Beach, 62 in Pasadena, 60 in Pomona, and 61 in Anaheim. And then moving on into our 5-day forecast, we have stormy weather tomorrow. Thursday, it's going to be pretty cloudy. Friday as well. Saturday is 68, and Sunday we enter the more familiar 70 degrees. And you know, PG&E is shutting down and issuing a round of public safety power shutoffs in Northern California. The dry vegetation and elevated temperatures of 5 to 15 degrees above average make it high fire risk. The company will restore power once de-energized power lines are inspected. The 24-hour shutoff begins Wednesday morning, and people are preparing for what's to come.
I live in a house that only has one source of heat, and that's electric. So when there's no electricity, I have no heat, and it gets very cold.
No, it doesn't scare me. It's not that cold. I've already been there. My heater went off, you know, in the middle of the winter, so I just stayed with the firewood.
This shutoff will affect around 300 people in 25 counties, including Sonoma, Santa Cruz, and El Dorado. I'm sorry, that's 300,000 people, actually.
That's a lot of people affected by this. It's pretty crazy.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sarah. Chick-fil-A announced it will no longer support two organizations that have been accused of anti-LGBTQ views. The fast food company decreased the number of charities they will give money to in the future. The Salvation Army and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes will no longer receive donations. Chick-fil-A says that in 2020, they will focus initiatives on education, homelessness, and hunger. This change comes after the fast food company has been accused of supporting charities that do not support the LGBT community. The Salvation Army and the FCA have been given over $1.7 million in the past. $9 million will be set aside for the new initiative, but members of the religious right accuse the company of surrendering to, quote, anti-Christian hate groups. Well, Lauren, I know there's some exciting things happening in the sports world. Tell us what's happening.
Well, you guys are right. It's a big night for hopeful 2020 Olympic athletes, and Annenberg Media is there live.
U.S. Olympic and Paralympic athletes are here tonight at the 2019 Team USA Awards at Universal Studios. I'm Jordan Hunter, and we'll have more on the ceremony after the break.
That's right. Plus, we've got more Mike Bone coming your way, so sit tight. And USC takes center court against Pepperdine tonight. We've got your preview after the break.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Give your town a reason to celebrate, because every Goodwill item you bring home brings job training and more to your community. Goodwill, bring good home.
Sure,
I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
It's a crosstown showdown at the Coliseum this weekend. The Trojans, now ranked 23rd in college football, are taking on rival UCLA. And it might have been 90 years since the first two have met, but it's the first time for new USC Athletic Director Mike Bohn. I had a chance to catch up with Bohn today. Here's what he had to say about USC rivalry traditions.
Well, I get excited again when you have an opportunity to take cookies to those that are guarding our treasured assets here on campus. And I just talked to them about how much we appreciate what they do. I mean, they are investing in our sense of pride and spirit and being Trojans. And I think that is critical for us.
Now that's Bohn on yesterday when he brought cookies to the USC Hellenes and Trojan Knights as they guarded Hecuba and Tommy Trojan from any unwanted Bruin visitors. I guess you could say cookies are the way to the Knights' hearts. I got a chance to talk with them today. So William, what's Bohn like?
He seemed like a really cool guy, really friendly, honestly. He immediately came up and was shaking everybody's hand, saying hello to everyone. He brought us cookies, which is always a good way to, good first step in the door. He brought, let's see, we got chocolate chip, we got white macadamia nut, some double chocolate chip, and oatmeal and raisin.
Chocolate chips, a classic, but hopefully there's no surprises in store for USC this weekend. The Trojans are a 10-point favorite over the Bruins. Now, USC women's basketball dropped one on the road to UC Santa Barbara. The women of Troy didn't play up to their past potential, scoring 20 points less than their average and overall just playing sloppy. For the Trojans, they turned the ball over about 7 times more than in their first 3 games. The team was chasing a lead nearly the whole time, down by a bucket in every quarter, and the Trojans eventually fell 57-46 to the Gauchos. The women of Troy are now 3-1, taking on their first-ranked opponent, the Texas A&M Aggies, this Saturday. USC men's basketball is 4-0, though, and looking to stay that way tonight against Pepperdine. The Trojans are expecting another big game out of senior forward Nick Rakocevic. The senior forward put up a double-double of 24 points and 11 rebounds this past weekend at Nevada. Rakocevic leads the Pac-12 in steals with 12. Now, Jordan is live at Universal Studios for the Team USA Awards. Jordan, I'll pass it over to you.
I'm here at the 2019 Team USA Awards at Universal Studios, hosted by Olympic wrestling champion Jordan Burroughs. And guys, the atmosphere here is amazing. Over 80 Team USA athletes are here tonight from both Winter and Summer Olympics, and throughout the night, they'll be honored for their achievements this year. I'm here with former Trojan water polo players Stefania Harlabides and Amanda Longan. How are both of you?
Doing great.
So just real quick, so how does playing at a competitive level at USC, how did that prepare you for being on the national team?
I mean, the training we did at USC compares to a certain extent as much as you can do in college, but the way our coaches were and the way our program was a lot of the same basics and a lot of the same passion and commitment that our national team requires. So while the training may be ramped up even more because now we're not students, it's prepared us tremendously.
And what's next for the national team?
So right now we're training for December competition. We're playing in Princeton and Montreal, and then we're starting on different trips to prepare for the Olympics.
So we'll have a couple holiday cups to compete in, like she said, in Canada, and then at Princeton on the East Coast. Yeah.
How are you personally preparing yourself for these next couple years and for the Olympics?
I mean, nutrition, sleep, training, recovery, all of the things that athletes are told and supposed to and should do. We're just doing it the best we can.
I was here with Amanda Longan and Stefania Harlabides. The event will air on December 22nd on NBC at 2 p.m. For Annenberg Media, I'm Jordan Hunter. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you so much, Jordan. Now, Christmas came early for patients at UCLA's Mattel Children's Hospital.
And we met with Dodgers pitchers Kenley Jansen, who made the generous donation. We'll be right back with more.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
My parents weren't fluent in English, so in school, I had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Annenberg Media published an analysis of the 3 mass shootings in California last week. The story compares the difference between the wall-to-wall coverage of the Saugus school shooting and the shootings in Fresno and Paradise Hills. For the full article, go to uscannenbergmedia.com.
Dodgers pitcher Kenley Jansen handed out iPads and Nintendo Switch gaming systems to children at UCLA's Mattel Children's Hospital. The project is called Kenley's Locker. The Jansens unveiled 2 lockers filled with gadgets for pediatric patients. They want to help make a tough time less stressful. The idea for the lockers began 2 years ago when their son spent many hours in a hospital.
There was several times that he went through hospitals, so we literally know how it feels. It's really tough for a family to experience this. So for us to be able to make every kid happy is just awesome.
This is the 2nd hospital to receive a locker from the Jansens, and they plan to deliver more to other hospitals in the future. But guys, in terms of other sports besides baseball, football, Conquest this week. Are you guys going?
USC-UCLA rivalry. Of course I'm going to Conquest. I live for this week.
That's fair.
I think it's going to be really excited. Unfortunately, I will not be there, but I will be rooting from my home for USC to take them on. I cannot wait.
What about you, Sarah?
Absolutely. I'm so excited. This is the only game this season that I will be going to that I'm so pumped about.
It's a very early game.
You have to purchase expensive tickets for that then.
You know, you're right.
They should give us free tickets, but that's just me.
You know, I would be on board with that if they wanted to. I'm here for it. Free tickets.
But what is Conquest, guys? That's like, so I know it's like a concert, right?
Yeah, so basically the school puts on a concert to get students just hyped up for the game. So we all come into Saturday in the Coliseum ready to rock and roll and ready to pummel the Bruins.
That's exciting, and our marching band is really good. So
excited.
That's going to be good.
All right, thank you so much, guys. And thank you for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone here at Annenberg Media, I'm Trevor Sahaki.
And I'm Jamia Pugh. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night. Get it.